Hi, everybody. Today we'll be talking business, education, and money. Hi, my name is Shanique. I'm the founder of Warm Bridge Support Services. I help people who are deaf or hard of hearing find employment. I'm a mom, a wife, an entrepreneur, and a certified teacher of the deaf. Join us as we speak with a teacher of the deaf who currently works with some of the students in a high school. Hi, Mr. Richardson. How are you?
Hi, how are you?
Awesome, awesome. So
Good.
you are currently a teacher of the deaf, is that correct?
Yes.
Yes. How many years have you been in the field?
I guess I've been in the field about 25 years.
Okay, so
Mm-hmm.
you worked in the high school. So
Mm-hmm.
what's the age range of the students that you work with?
I say 14 to 17 or 18, 17 to 18.
All right. So education wise, do you feel as though they are prepared for life after high school? Living
So
out.
many of them not. And that, I mean, the new ones that's just coming into high school, the ninth graders, hopefully they will choose one of the paths, the career paths that we have at the high school. That's very good. I think we have a few 10th graders that's some of those vocations. But I would say the majority of our kids are, they're really not prepared for the job market, bright, smart kids, but just don't have a clue as to what they want to do after high school.
And why do you feel as though they are not prepared?
Oh, there's a lot of variables there. I think that so many of our homes are not preparing kids, really teaching or encouraging them to seek out a vocation, something that they really enjoy doing. Everybody can't do a computer, and all of our kids, they love technology, and I mean that's a path for them. But there are other things that I'm sure that that maybe they would like to do, and that's giving them, they should have an opportunity to explore other options. Some of them may be great chefs, some of them could be great beauticians and barbers. There are none of them that are very good with their hands. I mean, they will make good carpenters, or they have an eye for the art. They would be good photographers. Our kids have a lot of those, a lot of potential, and those qualities that they could really utilize and become, say, financially able to support themselves.
Okay, so business wise, so I am a business consultant, career coach, and I specialize in working with individuals who are deaf or hard of hearing out into the in the field.
Mm-hmm.
And some of the things that I see is that life after high school, they don't know what to do with themselves. They don't know where to go, and so they
Mm-hmm.
need that support. You know,
Right.
that's where we
Right.
come in to help guide them, help them find jobs, and those kinds of things. What are some things that you think should happen in the school before they even graduate in order to help prepare them for when they say come to someone like me to help them find a job?
Well, we need to start early with them. I think I had this conversation with a couple of students maybe a little over a year ago. We were just sitting talking, and there were a couple of them already had it in their mind. They were fourth graders, of what they wanted to do as a job, when they got out of high school. So I think one of the things we need to do is really have a good parent conference, and talk to parents to encourage their children to think about what is it that you want to be when you grow up, when you're out of high school, and start working toward that, encouraging them to get into that or to try this. We do have students that I see are already working in family businesses. So a lot of our kids, their families don't have businesses, but they still should encourage them to, look at different things, see what they're good at. What is the child good at? Are they good with photography? Do they take good pictures? Are they good with a computer? Do they, I mean, most of them are, but it's still not, doesn't seem to be an interest. Do they like to cook? Do they like working with their hands in some way? So, I think it really starts at home, but if it doesn't, I think we should start with them very early, not wait until they get to the high school, but just start working with them even in the middle school, doing things. One of the things that I encourage, and I did not know that this was going to be something that my daughter looked at in her career. She started typing in the 6th grade. Then she went through high school when they had some kind of office thing that they were doing. The computers were not that popular then, but she learned how to type. When she finished high school, she was typing 110 words a minute
Awesome.
with no errors.
Awesome.
So I encouraged that, and I saw that, and I said, okay, we're going to put her in these classes. This is where we're going to put her. We're going to put her in these classes. And there were people that wanted to hire her just because she had the typing skills back at that time. So that was something that she could do. So we have to know our children, look at them and see. I'm not just talking about parents, but we as educators, and encourage them. Hey, why don't you try that? Won't you get in? Why don't you? What do you think about that? And then they will come back and say, I want to do such and such a thing. Encourage them to go and try it. They will never know how much they like it or don't like it, or if they're good at it or not good at it, if they don't try it. So we need to encourage that. And I don't see a lot of that,
So
with
more
our children.
exploration.
Yes, yes,
More exploration.
yes.
All right. And I want to touch real quick on the topic of money. So supplemental security income. That's a thing that some of our students have
Mm-hmm.
because of their deafness.
Right. They do.
Right. And
Yes.
supplemental security income as a resource. And the parents get to tap into that as a resource for their child who may be deaf or hard of hearing. What is something that you notice with that whole SSI, supplemental social security income, whenever now it comes time for the student to get out into the real world and get a job?
That's real touchy. That's a real touchy subject. Because, I think so many of our children, they know little or nothing about finance. They know little or nothing about being independent, taking care of yourself. So that SSI check a month probably looks like $1 million to them until they maybe have to go on their own and they see that it's just not enough. But if they can learn a trade and get pretty good at it, really get trained and get the certification, which a lot of our kids have done, and they get started and they start making money, then SSI, after you start making money, they reduce it until, if you're making a certain amount, then you don't get it. You can't get both. You can't work and get both. But I think that they will feel so good about themselves when they can see that I can make money and take care of myself and not have to wait once a month to get a check.
Can they make more money than what the Social Security or the SSI check would give them?
It varies. The amount that they get, I'm sure, varies. I don't know if there's a cap or limit,
And it
but
depends on the individual.
yes, yes. And so many of them get on these jobs and they work their way up. It's amazing how these kids can, they can work their way up to making enough money where SSI, what is that? I don't need it.
Yes. What is something that you would tell parents who have kids who've maybe been on SSI all the way growing up to the age 18? And now, okay, should we launch into getting a job that's going to pay us a lot more money and potentially lose that SSI? Or should we stay with the SSI where it's safe and because we know that the income is coming in? What would you tell that parent who is thinking, should I let it go or not let it go?
It's a parent decision, but my thing would be, can this child manage this money that they're getting if you are not here? If something happens where you are not with that child, God forbid, but if something happens to a parent and that child is dependent, because usually the parents manages the money the child is getting. But if you're going to get it, can you teach your child how to manage the money that he's getting and to show him how far it goes, or her how far it goes, what they can do with it and what they can't do? And to know that we're getting this amount of money, but I'm working, mom is working, dad is working. We're the ones that's really footing the biggest part of how you're living. The rent is paid, not just with SSI. I'm working to add more to it so that the rent can be paid, food can be on the table, clothes can be on your back, traveling back and forth, doing things for you. That SSI check is not going to cover all the things that you are experiencing, the things you're experiencing right now.
So you have a daughter that is deaf,
Mm-hmm.
and you chose not to go the Social Security or the SSI route. Why was that?
No, at the time, SSI was not really that popular as far as I knew. She knew about it, but I didn't really know a lot about it. And because dad and mom both were working, we didn't feel like that she needed that. But she did learn how to manage money. She was given a little job. She worked with her father in his company. If she wanted a new pair of shoes, she had to go to work for it. I mean, that was the way we did it. So she learned about finance, and she learned that whatever her friends were doing, some of them were getting SSI, that it wasn't going very far. And I think when she got out of college and she saw some of her friends that did not go to college or did not go through the program learning a trade because it was available, but they chose not to, that they ended up living on SSI and, of course, marrying somebody that was getting SSI. So, they brought both of their SSIs together. But she was just not brought up that way. She was taught like the other kids. There's one day you're going to need a job. You're going to have to pay rent. You're going to have to do this and do that. And you cannot afford to do that getting the amount of money you're getting.
What does your daughter do now?
She's a psychologist. She went 4-year university, got her undergrad. She did her undergrad, and then she went on to do her master's in psychology. As a matter of fact, her job is working basically with deaf adults, kind of like what you're doing right now, but in a hospital setting.
Well, I
So
can't wait
she's
to
paying
meet
her own rent. She's buying her own food. But that's something you have to put in. You have to start at home with them. That was kind of the way we went with her. And the older one, she's just a little workaholic. She's at the VA hospital doing very well.
So is she deaf as well?
Mm-hmm. My oldest and my youngest.
So you have 2 babies that are deaf.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. And they're successful. They're making it. It's possible.
Oh, definitely. And, the younger one, I learned more and was able to do more with her than the older one because, like some parents now, I didn't know what to do, but never had a deaf child and, nowhere, didn't even know deaf. But there was still this work ethic that was put in them from the beginning that I think that it just took root and they just learned how to work for what they needed and knew that they were going to have a job to take care of themselves.
Awesome. Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, we are out of time. I just want to say thank you so much for joining me. It is awesome to hear from somebody who is in the field right now. You have babies and you have like 25 years of experience in the school. So you're seeing what's happening in the school and outside of the school.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You're able to give us a perspective of, hey, these are things we're looking out for, parents. Don't wait until, they're 18 and then they have to leave high school and they're like, what do I do with myself now? Educate them now, prepare them now. So whenever they get to the business or get to it's time to make that money or find a job, you want to find a good paying job,
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
not
Prepare
depend.
yourself for that. Yeah.
Yeah, and not depend on Social Security income.
Because who knows whether it's going to be around. And everything is up and down, up and down. It may be here today, but you just don't know what's going to happen where it's not available. So you
Oh,
do need to prepare yourself. Just like, and I think that really parents need to start preparing them. You find out your child is deaf. If I had known this years ago, I would have started preparing when they were 3 year olds, doing some things to prepare them. So I would encourage parents to start doing work in that independence and that advocacy in these children at a very early age.
teaching them how to count, how to read, how to count money,
How to
how
save a little
to
money.
save money, and make the money work for them, have a
Mhm.
piggy bank,
Yeah, yeah,
count
yeah,
the pennies in the piggy bank on the basic level, something,
yes,
the
yeah,
foundational skills.
yeah. Give them something to do.
Yeah.
Don't just have them sitting on your lap and you just moaning and groaning about how pitiful things are. No, no, we we got to get these babies prepared for life.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much
Mhm.
for taking your
Thank you for
time.
having me. I appreciate this and I like it. I love it. I love
We
what you're doing.
we will
So,
do it. We'll definitely
okay.
do it again.
Okay. All right. We'll come up with another topic for another time.
Yes, yes. We have a lot, don't we?
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Thank
Uh-huh.
you.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
And if you liked what we were talking about and want to see more, please like, subscribe, and follow what we're doing because it is going to be great. Thanks. Bye.